What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today, we've got part 3 of the Zebasi Polysseum Championship, and I got kicked into the loser's brackets, and I've got to fight my way to victory. I have to win every single set from this point. But yeah, let's just cut in the... Oh yeah, hold on. Before I get into things. I am playing against RAMDINGLER, who also got kicked into loser's bracket, and we both know what's on the line: content, and also like if we lose the set, we're out of the tournament. So, but yeah, I'm hosting this game, and we'll see how things go. You know, RAMDINGLER's pretty good at the game. Pretty good is an understatement. Is extremely good at the game, so I'm a bit nervous. I gotta play on point, spamming lots of units. I also funnel the Explorer in advance. I'm not even getting it this turn, but I'm funneling it in advance because I need that information, that vision to work with. I get those median stars, and I miss the lighthouse. I can do without the lighthouse though. I hit that warrior. Get another upgrade, this time a workshop. The Explorer's not funneled, and I don't care to funnel it. So I get a nice kill with the rider there. This rider can be hit, but it cannot be killed. And now, I get an Explorer here. This time it is funneled. And I see an opportunity here. And wow, look at this. Hold on, you can see a lot here. This Explorer gave a ton of info, because I really want to break down what's going on here and why this is so important. Because, I killed some units, but it's more than that. I've already won the game. How have I already won the game? Okay, so I've already won the game because I'm guaranteed 5 cities. I'm taking the city. But there's more than just that. RAMDINGLER has 1 city, 2 cities, 3 cities. 3 cities. That's it. No 4th city. Just 3, unless they can take this. And I'm going to make sure that they cannot take this. They're pretty light on units because they're only on 2 cities at the moment. I get a fishing ruin. That's useless. I don't care. I know I have this game in the bag. Already, at this point, I already know. Again, that information that I have to work with. It's massive here. I'm going to be up 2 cities, and I just need to stop them from getting this. And I'm doing amazing. I get an Explorer. Now I've got really, really good info to work with. Get the lighthouse again. No, I've got because I missed that lighthouse earlier. But again, how do they win this village? They have to make warriors. They can't make riders. I get construction ruin because why not? And RAMDINGLER knows he needs this village desperately, but I know that he needs it desperately. So I'm going to stop him from getting it. I'm pressuring. He has to unsiege. He has to deal with all that. He doesn't want to deal with all that. He wants the village, but he has to deal with all this. He goes in with the warrior. But now, with the really disgusting road play, vet assigning. If they can't kick me off, that's it. And they can't kick me off. And again, I commit fully to this village, knowing that this was going to be a ticket to just an easy and clean victory. It does not matter what RAMDINGLER does at this point. Doesn't matter how phenomenal he is at the game. If he's down with half the cities and I have a Grand Bazaar in the pocket. He tries his best to hang on, tries one last desperation pressure. But I'm just going to upgrade. Get the pop growth. I'm getting the giant on my capital. So I'm going to be able to respond to this. But it's going to get even better than that. I got a workshop here, which is actually a mistake. If I got an Explorer, I could have gotten the Eye of God. Because the Explorer takes a really funny path, goes all the way here, and then sees, oh, there's a fog tile here. Bam. That would have been really, really snazzy, but I get the workshop instead because I'm lame. I place my gate of power. Wait, I just commit all my monuments. Wait. But how do I deal with this? I can get a giant, but I don't need monuments. I need this border growth. And I need a giant here. Again, I already knew from like way back when I knew I was getting the city that this game is in the bag. There's the border growth. Cuts off my cities. I could have played around that honestly, but I still know that I have this game in the bag. What are they supposed to do here? I have so many units. I have so many cities. I can pressure. I can defend. They unsiege. They try to siege here. I sack some units. Hit. And then I crush their hopes and dreams. I had construction from that ruin earlier. If you guys were paying attention, you would remember that and not be surprised by this. But yeah, game 1. Absolute ramdingle with that vision giving me the information I needed to win the game on the spot. So now I'll go ahead and cut to the next match. Alright, so game 2. The spawn is looking pretty bad. Why is the spawn bad? There are 0 villages here. I'm really close to the middle. I have to fight for pretty much every village. And you're gonna see that right from the get-go because I immediately beat the opponent. And I now have to fight for literally the first village that I get. Now, neither of us are getting this, but that means I'm not getting the village, and my next village is really far away. I try to do that, and I get away with it. I get hunting pre-cap, because I went to giant here. I'm immediately prioritizing that. I don't upgrade here, very important, because I need the rider. If I upgraded here, I wouldn't be able to workshop here, which means I actually overall get less economy. So yeah, don't always chase those level 3s. It's not worth it. Like you can see here, I'm getting neither level 3. Why? Because I know it's important. That 1 star per turn is not going to matter. I need units. Except they have a giant. What the heck? Turn 8 after we were fighting? They just get a giant. Okay, that's not very good. I get a lighthouse. Now I can upgrade this for free. I have a route to a giant myself, so this isn't too bad. I make some units, and then in 2 turns time I can get my own giant. They rode in. They're taking that center city. They're going to take it with a giant, most likely. And they kind of waltz in with the rider. Looks pretty bad, but then, oh my goodness. In classic RAMDINGLER fashion, no, he's not taking this with the giant. He's taking my capital, the giant. And how do I defend that? Where's the giant push? Is it a pop rune? Pop rune, surely. No, free spirit. What am I supposed to do with free spirit, guys? What the heck? Okay, so the ruin doesn't help me at all, but I still have that ruin. Okay. And I do get this giant, so there's a monument, but where's the unsiege? Because if I place a Park of Fortune, pop growth, I'm still 1 population short. I can get org, but if they block that tile, that's it. I lose. So what's the play? Border growth, of course. Take away this road, take away some space, and now I have the unsiege. Except wait. Justeeni, are you trying to rely on the ruin? You have 9 star per turn because of the siege. Did you like forget or something? Are you stupid? Justeeni, I'm unsubscribing to you because you're terrible at the game. No. This was all part of the plan. This was all part of the plan. I get a Shiv ruin, okay. But that doesn't help me on siege. I'm going to lose the game. But if you guys remembered what Free Spirit does, you wouldn't be saying that I'm unsubbing because you'd be like, oh yeah, disband units. But the problems aren't over yet. I'm getting pressured here. I get a forestry ruin. That's actually pretty nice. I have chivalry this at this moment, but what am I supposed to do with chivalry when I'm about to lose my capital again? I get a lighthouse. Wait, it's really nice. That's why I got the explorer, by the way, to get the lighthouse. I knew I was gonna get it. It was all planned. I'm not getting this one though. Unfortunate, but that one lighthouse is really good. Now I can train a knight. Really greedy here. So what's the idea? I mean, you guys can see the even siege, right? I just got a forestry ruin. Like, come on. Except I'm actually not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna night chain. Except I'm not. You thought I was gonna night chain. Why do I do this? Because I want this knight to not die. I want it to be safe. If it goes onto this tile, it dies. I don't want my knight to die. That would suck. Here, it doesn't die. On the capital. I could have chained up here, but is that really worth it? I kill 3 warriors. Congrats. That's terrible value. Don't chain 3 warriors with your knights. It's not good value. I don't need to train another knight because I already have one on board, but I'm being pressured again. This really sucks because I don't even have roads, so my knight isn't that good. And some people may say, why did you get chivalry? I got it from a ruin, guys. Weren't you watching? Yeah, so this knight it's doing its best. It's forcing RAMDINGLER to play around the chains, and this whole time I've been down a city. Only one city though, luckily, because the density for RAMDINGLER kind of sucked. It was really bad for both of us. I mean, it was probably worse for me. He's got 2 cities next to his capital. You know what? Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on how the heck are we dealing with this giant. Well, I'm sending my own giant in. And I'm just throwing things right back at him. Okay, so now I've got 2 giants. You gotta run this giant away. Get out of here, RAMDINGLER. I don't want to lose my capital today. I don't want to lose. It's not good for the content when I lose. It's not good for the views. I gotta make the crazy comeback with the chivalry ruin out of nowhere. So I get pop growth here, get a giant, and I am up in super units. You know, I'm down in cities, but I have chivalry and I'm up in super units. Hold on, we can get something going here. We're cooking. We're absolutely cooking. Now, I sack a warrior to damage the giant. I send these back, just play nice and defensive. I don't want them to siege, that would really suck. I have another knight. Border growth here for some good value, gets me another giant. And I can pressure pretty well. This giant's kind of overextended. They're going for the lighthouse, actually, but I'm just going to say, take it. I know you get Eye of God, but take it. I'm gonna start attacking you. This giant looks silly now. Let's go. Hold on. Are we outplaying RAMDINGLER with a city disadvantage? Okay, hold on. Okay, so they chain. That's pretty rough, but this giant can now die and I get a chain of my own. They don't have the lighthouse quite yet, but I can't actually prevent them from getting it. I go for the siege. All right. And then at this point, I made a fatal mistake. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I'm sieging 2 cities that night. Giant. They can get I've got and get a giant push, but I still have really good pressure here. I've got these knights and I can unsiege my capital. There's no problems there. What's the problem? Problem is that they're not just unsieging. They're Houdiniing. And I didn't buy climbing. Sitting right here. I have 18 stars. I can easily afford climbing here. And I just don't get climbing. And this is heartbreaking. I thought I was gonna have some good content. How am I supposed to put bread on the table if I don't get good content? This is terrible. Well, I disband that giant because it's useless now. And, well, I'm no longer up in super units, and I'm just down in cities, and there's a really big swing in momentum. It really hurts, but I can get some knights. I'm just down a lot of economy, though. But yes, all my cities are high level, but they are up in cities, and their cities are pretty high level as well. I try to chip away at this giant. A little bit of fighting going on there. More unit spam. But unfortunately, the siege really sucks. My eco's getting crippled. And they have a super unit advantage. Okay, I get some connections, but that doesn't help me get a giant. Unless you get construction and org. Get another knight. And we're even in super units again. But now RAMDINGLER has quite a few knights, and they siege here. Okay. I'm still hanging on, but okay. Oh, this is pretty rough now. No, oh my goodness, my economy. I have 11 star per turn. I'm sieging here, though. Okay. Hold on. They can't unsiege this again, though, unless they sacrifice all these knights. But, I mean, this giant's a bit of a problem, but again, if I get construction org, if I can somehow afford that here, or even, like, math and org, that also works. I can hang on here, but then I blunder a knight chain. And, yeah, I see that they're gonna unsiege, so yeah, this is really bad. So I just resign here. Unfortunate. Almost making the comeback, but I gave RAMDINGLER an inch, and he took a mile. So now, once again, final game of the set, but this time the stakes have never been higher. If I lose, I am out of the tournament. So let's go ahead and cut to that match. Alright, so this time, again, we've got that really yucky spawn that you don't want to see, but I am hosting this time, so maybe it's going to work out for me. And I do have pretty nice resources. My density really sucks, but if I can keep this village... Oh, yeah, whoa, and I get climbing, I get the ruin. Hold on. Vet sword, oh my goodness. I'm just holding on to this position. This is really good. There's going to be a village back here as well. Resource indicators say so. So I'm kind of chilling, and this explorer gives me some phenomenal information. So, yeah, obviously there's a village up here. But there's also a village up here, and this one's really interesting. So if I take this, that's something I was thinking about. And again, if I take this, I get mining. 8 population plus a monument. That's a giant, just straight up, with just mining. But I also thought, well, I have to get mining. It's only good for that city. And, like, if I have 4 cities, mining's like 12 stars. It's not very good. But then that gave me another thought. What if RAMDINGLER takes that city? He doesn't have climbing. I mean, if he does have climbing, that'd be kind of crazy, but if he doesn't have climbing, he has to get hunting and org for this city to do anything. Or like an extremely long road connection. I don't need to take that city and commit to mining. I don't need to take the city at all. And so I just kind of leave it there. I'm eyeing it up, but I'm not actually going to take it. I go for the ruin, trying to just deny RAMDINGLER this actually important city. And yeah, he goes to the city, he sees it. And I get a star rune. Whoa, that's really good. My rune luck has been on point this game, unlike last game. But I can get some nice upgrades, or it gets a ton of value here. It's amazing. Yeah, this vet sword's really nice, but I can't actually attack with it. RAMDINGLER's got a very good defense setup. So it's just gonna kind of sit there and heal. Goes for the siege. And his farms are insane here, so that's something I have to keep in mind. If I pick up this lighthouse, I do get a giant. Just one population short, and I give him the village, and look at that, he takes it. And you're gonna see, pay attention to this village again. Seriously, this village is pretty important. So you get the Explorer. I know he's on 3 cities, but I'm just doing this for Eye of God. It's pretty much guaranteed, especially with climbing. Like, I'm getting Eye of God. And then I get the nice giant push. So I get my giant first. Look at how many farms he has, by the way. This is insane. I get my second giant. I'm doing pretty well tempo-wise. He gets roads now. Gets a giant of his own. And then setting up the next giant. I get a strategy rune. Whoa, that's pretty nice. Roads. So now I'm eyeing up this village. And then they're pressuring here. Makes sense. This is a high-level city. Always good to attack those just to siege and deny income. Now we're even in super units. I'm pressuring here. This is really awkward to defend. That's why I'm doing it. And I pressure here at the same time. I'm going to be playing a 5-on-4. Not only a 5-on-4, but if you guys have been paying attention to this is still level 1, by the way. Producing just 1 star per turn while increasing its tech prices by a minimum of 1. But then he kind of traps my giant, kind of turning things around here, saying, this looks stupid, Justeeni, what are you doing? Well, I siege here, and then I buy diplomacy. Why do I buy diplomacy? I buy diplomacy for... You guys are not going to see this one coming. You get a connection. Cool. Okay, we get a workshop. This isn't important. Cool. I have God. Wow, that's crazy. This isn't what we're here to see, though. Why do I get diplomacy? Why do I get diplomacy here? They get a pop ruin. They get another giant. They siege. Wait, but how do I unsiege? I get a fishing ruin. Why did I get diplomacy? I capture. And I fully commit to keeping this village. I get diplomacy because I want to sacrifice this city. Because that is the perfect cloak target. That is why I get diplomacy. Because I want to sacrifice the city for the content. I mean, it's more of a city trade, and they disband the giant. They know that I have a cloak, presumably, because they're going to commit into chivalry, which seems like a good answer, but again, this city makes 5 star per turn. They can chain every unit here, and I'm still damaging the unit in the city, and it's a 10 star swing. I cost 8 stars, so it's really, I profit 2 stars. And I force them to commit a knight every time. So it kind of is a 10 star swing, realistically. And I'm pressuring here. And again, these defenders. If you remember part 1, defenders against knights are so devastating. You're going to see it here. So I actually make a mistake here. This cloak is actually misplaced. If you want to see how RAMDINGLER can actually reveal the cloak, it's a bit tricky of a play. The correct spot for the cloak was here. This is impossible to reveal, no matter what. Well, I guess it's not impossible to reveal, but it's highly impractical to reveal compared to this spot, which has a bit of a practical solution for revealing. But luckily, something never punished. It's really tricky to find anyway. They don't even see the cloak that's here. And you can see again the problem at hand. They got knights to deal with this cloak. But they can't deal with the cloak because I'm blocking them. They can't deal with anything here. They're getting effectively double siege because the cloak's stealing income here. And I'm going to chain like crazy if they even save this. They're pressuring the cap, but I'm holding Gate of Power. And this city sacrifice ends up actually being a pretty easy conversion. And I managed to beat the one and only RAMDINGLER, knocking him out of the tournament. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub. And have a good one.